do you think about Mairs and what he's doing for the badminton community?
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, the more good quality badminton and showcasing good badminton opportunities there is, and also more opportunities for players to get involved with something that's a little bit different is only going to be good for the sport.
Yeah, I think the more opportunity there is for players like ourselves to come to events like this, and also players to get involved in playing in these events, it's just exactly what badminton needs.
What are your thoughts about going in today? Because I know there are like a lot of people that are excited at different levels. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we're very excited. I think Mez, who's organised it, is very passionate, and that's come across in the communication we've had with him. So yeah, just all round excited to see what it's all about, get stuck in and meet lots of new people and enjoy playing badminton together.
Amazing. Now, I asked this question to the UBL players, and nearly all of them said that they hadn't eaten breakfast. Have you eaten breakfast? What did you have?
Yes.
We have. I think we were on court for like 3 or 4 hours. So
breakfast was needed. I almost always have yogurt, granola, and some kind of fruit and honey, which is what I had today.
Yeah. I
This answer could be long now.
I vary with my breakfast, but today I had some toast and quite a lot of fruit, some grapes, bananas, berries.
Healthy.
Yeah, we brought some stuff with us as well.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to these ones. Who is your favourite athlete of all time, and why? It doesn't have to be badminton related. Which is probably a tough question.
That's so difficult.
I'll give 2. I'll give one badminton, one non-badminton.
Okay.
Badminton is Zhao Yunlei, so a Chinese female mixed and women's doubles player, and she was absolutely phenomenal. She was so talented and so good to watch. And then non-badminton is Dame Jess Ennis-Hill. Again, a phenomenal athlete, and it was always so inspiring to watch her.
Oh, it's so difficult. I'm going to say Lin Dan for the badminton, just because his skill was very good, and it's someone that I watched a lot growing up. And then just watched him a lot, tried to copy a lot of his style when I did play singles, but it didn't go very well. But yeah, no, unfortunately not, but left-handed as well. So yeah, definitely him from the badminton side of things. And then, although like tennis is nowhere near as good as badminton, I will say Roger Federer, just because of what he's done in tennis and the longevity he's had in his career and the way he's handled himself around that.
Obviously, you had a partnership before you became a couple outside of badminton. How would you say it's affected your play on court and in those tougher moments? How do you go about dealing with those?
We see it mostly as a positive thing. Of course, there are times where we're both pushing each other to the max every day. There are times where we'll both be exhausted, we train to our max the entire week. But yeah, most of the time we have such open communication with each other because we are partners on and off the court, that I think it's like we can say whatever we like to each other, and we know the other won't be offended because we know we're in it together and we want the best for each other.
A lot of people always ask us, how do you play with your wife? Like, I could never do it. But yeah, it's something we've done for a long time and definitely figured out how to do. I think I could probably talk for about an hour or two.
It does take work though, it takes work.
Yeah. But yeah, I could talk for an hour or two on how we do it and what we've learned over the past 10 years. But
learned a lot about each other as well.
Yeah, for sure. But as Jenny said, only see it as a positive thing.
Well, that's a good thing to take away. Obviously, you both went to Loughborough, if I'm correct. How would you say you manage, obviously, the badminton, the training, university life, and studying? And if you had any tips for students like myself?
Again, could talk for a long time about this. I think the key is setting your priorities right, saying no to some things that maybe you have to, or you kind of want to say yes. I'm really bad at this. But the first and foremost thing is like managing your time and really setting out, this is what I want to do, and being efficient with that and not staying on chatting for an hour or going on, like, I've never owned a PlayStation, which a lot of people find weird, but you've got to sacrifice some things like that.
Yeah, a lot of people say like there's a triangle of the 3 S's, which is sport, social and study, and you can only do 2 of those 3 S's, and
Like really well.
yeah, like really, really well. So for us, we wanted to, at uni, be the best badminton players we could be, but we also didn't want to miss out on a lot of the uni experiences of like
Social.
Going
we sacrifice the study.
Yeah, but then, sometimes, yeah, but then other times we were like, badminton was always the top, but that never really got deprioritised.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it was exam season's like, okay, now the studying's got to, the social's got to go now. And that, I'm not talking about just going out and getting drunk, it's just like going out, just hanging out with our friends or whatever. So it is really tough and you do have to make a lot of sacrifices, but it depends on what you want at the end of the day, really.
Massively. Do you have any tips for those who want to improve quickly within badminton? Very general.
I think we've done loads of videos on this on the channel. We did one. Do you remember? We were going to the World Championships after we just had a week on holiday and we were building up to the season, and then we got into the World Championships. This was 3 years ago when we just started back playing with each other and we didn't have that much of a ranking. But then we got promoted and we did a video on how to get good in 7 days. And it's not just do loads of fitness. It's more work on the tactical side of things and more play to your strengths. I think that's what we kind of talked about in that. If you're really strong in one area, then get that area really good. And then in the match, try and play to that strengths. Don't overthink it. Because a lot of people just overthinking it.
Yeah, I think if you have a tournament in a week and you start panic training, a lot of people then start overtraining and then they'll just get injured. But I think as a general, if I was I want to improve in 2 weeks, yeah, it's just taking one small area and working on that. There's no point trying to say, I want to improve my entire game in 2 weeks. That's going to be very hard to achieve. It's better taking okay, I want to improve my return of serves in the next 2 weeks. And that's much more attainable to improve in 2 weeks. You just spend 15 minutes at the end of every session you've got just for focusing on that, and you will actually improve that quite a lot in 2 weeks.
Amazing. I think that's it for me. They're all the questions that I've got written down. So I think that's it.